The events in this program are inspired by a true story. Names, dates, and details have been changed. Viewer discretion is advised. On this episode of Bizarre Murders, Jesus works hard to make ends meet in Mexico.
I wish you could follow your heart.
Until he rolls the dice on a move to Vegas.
2 lottery tickets. Atta boy.
And hits the jackpot.
I can take care of you now, Mama.
But in Sin City,
I'll take the fault for the right price.
You can do that, right?
there's always a devil waiting to make your life go bust.
No, please. I'm talking to him.
You're ripping me off just like everybody else.
Living in one of Mexico's poorest regions, Jesus and his adoring mother, Esperanza, spend their days struggling to make ends meet.
Okay. Jesus, tortillas.
Momento, Mama. It's for you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, ciao.
Life may be hard, but Jesus finds joy in his passion for magic.
Hey, Ma. Show you a trick. Pick a card.
No.
There. Put your hand on it.
Okay.
Okay. Look.
Increíble, Jesus. You're such a talent. I wish you could follow your heart.
Actually, I could. Remember Alejandro?
Jesus' childhood friend from the barrio, Alejandro, moved to Las Vegas 2 years ago and recently offered to help Jesus join him.
I'm not going without you, Mama. Te quiero.
For a year, Jesus saves every penny so that his dream of moving to Las Vegas with his mother can come true. But when it happens, the reality is nothing like he imagined.
Ay caramba, eh, Jesus? We gotta clean up all this crap. What you see here, don't go running off at the mouth like those cleaning ladies, all right? Comprende?
Yeah, Tom.
Unable to read and write English, Jesus is forced to take the only job he can as a post-party cleaner for major hotel chains on the Vegas Strip.
Boy, I sure would like to meet the gal that fills this one out. Hey, think fast.
After a 12-hour shift, Jesus is about to catch the first of 3 buses to take him home to the tiny apartment he shares with Esperanza, when Tom offers him a ride.
I'm going into the corner store to get some liquor. You want anything? Gum, candy, mints,
2 lottery
soda?
tickets.
2 lottery tickets. Atta boy, Pedro, you're getting into the Vegas vibe.
This is lottery tickets.
2 tickets today. Best friends with my bookie by the end of the month.
I'm with Jesus on this one. Give me a job with a stable paycheck and a good retirement plan any day. But I'm boring like that. When my friends drag me out to the casino, they play the tables while I head straight for the buffet. Because the only thing I'm willing to bet on is how fresh the shrimp is.
And this week's winning lotto numbers are 7, 19, 20, 24, 43,
Serio?
45, 49.
We won.
Jesus collects a cool $22 million. Jesus uses his newfound wealth to buy his mother a new house and car.
This is beautiful, conejito.
I can take care of you now, Mama.
But when Jesus's family back home learn about his big win, they decide they deserve a cut.
I get that people want to win that big old lottery payout, and hey, I'm human. I imagine what it would be like too sometimes. But my work has taught me that getting rich quick has its downsides. Sometimes what you get is a jackpot of disappointment and trouble.
Jesus's family aren't the only ones trying to get their fingers on his cash.
Get out of my way, Mama San. Let me at him. I'll talk to him. Let me talk to him first there. Hey, Zeus. I bought that lottery ticket at the corner store fair and square. You owe me half of that money.
Estás loco.
No loco there. There's the check there. Put my name on it. My name's Tom.
Muy loco.
No muy loco there. If you don't write that check, I'm gonna sue you. You know why? Because this is America and I can do that.
Tom, please.
No, please. I'm talking to him, not you.
Tom launches a lawsuit claiming he's entitled to half the winnings. The case is thrown out of court, but Tom's betrayal has already done its damage. Jesus sinks into a deep depression. Assuming everyone he meets is after his money, Jesus starts hiding out in the house, spending day after day on the couch.
It's hard when you see the dark side of people, especially those closest to you. I know it's not the same, but a lot of police officers go through a similar phase after they join the force, because we get to see the worst of human behavior. And that's one of the reasons I retired. Now that I'm home every day, I don't have to deal with the worst of human behavior. My wife does.
Who else wants my money? Hello?
Hi,
Hi.
my name's Ellie, and I'm a personal wealth manager specializing in working with recent lottery and casino winners.
Okay.
Your name was passed on to me as a recent winner who might need some financial advice.
Jesus thinks Ellie could be the answer to his prayers and immediately makes an appointment to see her.
Jesus, thanks so much for coming in. So, you've got a lot of people asking you for some money.
Well, pretty much everybody I've known.
Tell me about it.
Ellie gets Jesus to open up about his problems, mainly not being able to turn down anyone who asks him for money.
You put me in charge of your cash, and I'll make sure no one touches a dime. Really, I'm tougher than a pit boss.
What do you do with my money?
Invest it in life settlements.
So there are funds that buy up people's life insurance policies. Then, if that person dies early, the fund gets the payout. Basically, you're playing roulette with lives. Hey, I'll put $20,000 on Jerry down the street to die of a heart attack.
I'm sorry, but I can't read or write in English.
Oh, that's no problem. It's just a standard contract. Nothing to worry about. It's just all legal stuff anyway, so... Right there.
I know Jesus wants this money off his hands, but who hands over millions of dollars to someone they just met? That's not naive, that's insane. You're just rolling the dice at that point and hoping you don't crap out.
That's it?
Yeah, perfect.
Over the next few months, Jesus and Ellie become fast friends.
So Pepper. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm thinking of starting my own show. As soon as I get all my big tricks down. You think I can saw you in half?
Sure.
Unlike the other people in Jesus's life, Ellie never asks him for cash, probably because she seems to have no shortage of it.
Sorry, my boyfriend and I were at the dealership looking at new sports cars. What can I do for you?
Well, I want to go traveling with my mom, and I would like to get some money.
The investments I put your winnings in are down. If you withdraw money now, you'll lose a bunch of its value.
Okay.
For someone who seems to be swimming in her own money, Ellie sure can't make a dime for anyone else. and that makes me think she's less focused on helping Jesus than helping herself to his money.
Or you could wait for the investments to rebound.
Jesus may already have gotten a lottery check, but maybe it's time for him to get a reality check and realize Ellie's taking advantage of him.
Hello?
Oh, hi. Is Jesus there?
Esperanza. Jesus told me you might call. He's actually on a magician's retreat, learning how to make buildings disappear and stuff.
When did he tell you this?
A couple days ago. But I have to go.
Okay.
Looks like Jesus's investments have bounced back after all. But why would a lifelong mama's boy leave town without talking to Esperanza about his trip, or more likely, taking her along?
But when Mother's Day rolls around a few weeks later, Jesus proves he hasn't forgotten about his mama.
Something doesn't add up here. You've got a guy who doesn't read or write in English who's suddenly writing novels over here. Either his retreat involves magically learning new languages, or he didn't write this card. And that tells me Jesus's American dream is turning into a nightmare.
My son is very depressed lately.
Is there any chance he would harm himself?
No. He would never leave his mama. We are mejor amigos.
Concerned about her son, Esperanza files a missing persons report with local police.
This letter, it's written in English, but he does not write in English, only Spanish.
Okay, let me take a look at it, ma'am.
It is not him.
Esperanza also shares the issues Jesus has had with family and friends since his big lottery win, including Tom's lawsuit. Detective Landon calls Tom down to the station to answer a few questions.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
So where you been?
I've been living out of town since the lawsuit ended. I've been off the grid on a medicinal marijuana farm in California. Keyword, medicinal.
Can anyone vouch for that?
Of course. Here's my partner's card. Call him.
Tom's alibi checks out. He's been living in California since the week after the lawsuit was settled. When Esperanza tells Ellie that Jesus is missing and the police are on the case, she rushes right over.
Hot chocolate?
I know you're worried, but Jesus wouldn't want all this fuss. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. He'll turn up any minute.
Hello?
Mama, it's Jesus.
Conejito, ¿cómo estás? Where are you? I was worried.
Oh, Mama, I'm just away. I need some space. I'll be back soon.
But where exactly are you?
Jesus tells Esperanza he has to run, but assures her he's fine and to call off the investigation.
Jesus? Hello, Jesus?
Oh, that sorts that out.
Oh, would you look at that? Jesus just happened to call when Ellie was there, and right after she learned about Esperanza talking to the police. Isn't that such a coincidence? And you know how I feel about coincidences. Between that and Ellie's cavalier attitude, I think she's working Esperanza, which tells me she knows more than she's letting on.
I know Mijo's voice. That wasn't my son on the phone.
Detective Landon discovers the call from Jesus can be traced back to his childhood friend.
Do you know who Alejandro is?
See, Alejandro is our friend, Jesus' best friend. He made it possible for us to come to America.
I brought you in today to talk about Jesus.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Before Detective Landon can question Alejandro, he cracks.
I pretended to be Jesus, okay? But only to help.
Alejandro tells Detective Landon that Jesus asked for a favor.
He can finally practice his magic in peace, so he needs you to call Esperanza so she doesn't worry about him while he's away.
Okay, what?
Just give her a call and let her know everything's all right.
According to Ellie, the best way Alejandro can help his childhood compadre is pretending to be him.
Now that's a bizarre request. If Jesus is so happy on his travels, why does he need someone to pretend to be him? And why doesn't he just call the police and tell them he doesn't want to be found? Sounds to me like Ellie's bluffing Alejandro here, but she'll never tell.
Of course, Jesus wants to make sure you're taken care of for helping him.
Okay, what do I do?
It's amazing how people's morals and views can change once there's money on the table. The more cash, the more flexible people become. And Ellie's got enough money to make Alejandro bend over backward for her.
When Detective Landon looks into Ellie's past, he discovers she's no stranger to law enforcement. A few years earlier, she was busted for selling fake casino chips to gullible tourists. The scam may have earned her a tidy profit, but it also cost her a year in prison.
Ellie's like the local casinos, glitzy on the outside with promises of wealth, happiness, and those fuzzy drinks served in plastic flamingos. What? I like fuzzy drinks. You can't judge me. Oh, anyway, I know Ellie's kind. Underneath that shiny exterior lives the smarts of a pit boss, mixed with the cutthroat wiliness of a desert coyote.
You're gonna pretend to help Ellie.
Detective Landon hatches a plan to turn Ellie's scheming back on her, but it hinges on Alejandro's acting chops.
Get close to her. Record everything she says on this.
Ay.
Well, why are you up under your shirt?
No, you can't. Ellie hugs. She'll feel it.
Turns out Alejandro is a regular MacGyver, transforming Detective Landon's jumbo-sized pop cup into a recording device.
Yeah?
Okay.
Ellie thinks she's holding all the cards, but she doesn't realize that police are like the house. With enough time, we always win.
Come in.
Hi.
Hey, take a seat.
Okay, you're
Just working on my fishing lures, but you're welcome to join me.
Of course Ellie has a secret love of fishing, and I'm sure she's great at it. I mean, after all, she has lots of experience getting her hooks in.
I brought you these. Esperanza says you like them.
Thank you.
Determined to find his friend, Alejandro treats buddying up to Ellie as a full-time job.
Listen, Allie, I need a favor. I mean, Jesus does. He's learning too much to come back from his magic retreats. Esperanza's getting worried again. If you could just make a few more calls to her and to some other family and friends, all paid, of course.
Sure. Just tell me when and what to say.
Great. Here's a list. Start at the top and work your way down.
Okay.
Wow, that's one crazy addiction you got going. Maybe you should cut back on the sugar.
Yeah, maybe I should. Hello, Juan?
Have you seen anything suspicious?
I mean, aside from her making me pretend to be my best friend,
After each visit, Alejandro reports his findings and delivers a tape of his conversations to police.
We have to push harder. We need something concrete on her.
I'm gonna need you to make another call to Esperanza. Tell her you're Jesus' bookie Ray.
his bookie.
When someone starts creating fake problems with supposed bad guys, they're usually setting up a fall guy, and most of the time when you do that, it's because there's a body somewhere, and it's only a matter of time before the truth comes out.
You've already been such a big help to me, Alejandro, and I'm sure you've already figured out Jesus is not coming back.
Wait, what do you mean?
Alejandro, Jesus was killed. But I'll take care of you, pay your mortgage, take care of your debts, start college funds for your children. I just need you to find someone to take the rap for his murder. You can do that, right?
Of course. Yeah, I can do that.
When Alejandro reports the bombshell that Jesus is dead, Detective Landon decides it's time to go undercover as Mickey.
Do you want to sit?
Nope.
A hardened criminal with nothing to lose.
So, how do you two know each other?
Church.
Yeah.
Going undercover is a great way for us in law enforcement to work a suspect for information. An undercover officer can win a target's trust, getting them to open up. The only problem is if things go south, the target knows you're onto them. And that's why going undercover is like playing poker with high rollers. If you want to win, you got to go all in.
And why do you want to do this?
Listen, I'm facing 35 years for a robbery charge. I'll take the fall for another charge for the right price.
Okay, great.
Mickey agrees to confess to the murder for just $65,000.
So tell me how you did it. Cut the crap. We both know you did it. And I'm not doing this unless you tell me.
Fine.
Ellie claims she invited Jesus over to discuss problems with his investments.
No mames, you're ripping me off just like everybody else.
I really think you're overreacting. You need to calm down. Issues arose with your investments, and I dealt with them the best way that I could. What are you doing?
I'm calling the police. I'm not dealing with this anymore.
That night, she does a little DIY project with Jesus's remains.
So what did I do with the body?
You portioned it and cemented it into a statue.
I portioned it
Yeah?
into a statue.
Yeah.
Where's my murder weapon?
Why?
Not wanting to hinge the police case solely on Ellie's confession, Mickey pushes her further.
I'll have to turn it in when I confess, make him believe it.
Detective Landon knows the stakes in this case are big, but if he can get the knife, that'll be the last card he needs to make a winning hand and take down the Queen of Cons.
Ellie knows Mickey needs the murder weapon to take the fall for killing Jesus, but she doesn't know he's an undercover cop trying to play her.
Ellie thinks she just got off scot-free, but she doesn't realize she handed over the information and evidence police need to prove she killed Jesus. She hasn't just tied up this case for us, she's put a pretty bow on it, too.
Unbeknownst to Ellie, Detective Landon now has the evidence he needs to get a warrant to search the garage. There, he finds Jesus' remains encased in concrete. When the autopsy results come in, they show that Jesus has been stabbed multiple times in the abdomen by the knife Ellie handed over to Mickey.
Hi, I'm Ellie.
Take a seat.
Detective Landon confronts Ellie with the findings from Jesus' autopsy.
I know you killed him, Ellie.
I didn't, I swear. There was an angry bookie. His name is Ray. He stabbed Jesus. I wanted to go to the police, but he said if I ever did, he'd kill me too. No thanks, I'm good.
Oh, this isn't a drink. This was holding a tape recorder when you asked Alejandro to say he was Ray, a bookie.
I knew Alejandro was a snake.
Sure she did. That's why she spilled everything to him. If you ask me, Ellie's just mad because Alejandro tricked her all the time, while the best story she could come up with was an angry bookie. You'd think a Vegas gal could be more creative than that.
Fine, I did it. But I had to. I'll put it all back, I promise.
Just as I thought, Ellie was skimming money out of Jesus' accounts, taking advantage of the fact that he couldn't read or write in English. She thought Jesus was her cash cow until he started asking questions and her big-time con seemed like big-time trouble.
I'm calling the police.
Not willing to go back to jail, Ellie killed Jesus to keep him quiet. She's convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison.
Jesus wanted to live his dream, but he was driven by fear. Instead of taking control of his life when he won the lottery, he practically threw his money and his future at Ellie, just so he didn't have to say no to everyone trying to get their paws on his cash. But the problem with betting on a stranger is that sometimes you win big, and sometimes you find yourself face to face with snake eyes.